What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you on a Wednesday night. It is Wednesday. We're moving through the week. Hope everybody's doing well. We're coming at you live on News 6 Plus and on the News 6 YouTube page. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me tonight on a very mild Wednesday night. As expected, that temperature climb continues across the entire state of Florida. By the end of this week, we're going to be pushing 80 degrees. Did anybody get some rain today? We had a couple of stray little sprinkles sneak in here out ahead of a very weak front that could bring a few more stray downpours into the mix as we get into tomorrow. So that's not really going to help the drought situation much, but we will take what we can get. Now, there is an opportunity for some more widespread rain, as we've been talking about, as we get into the second half of the weekend and into the start of the early stages of next work week. So there is a lot to unpack, so we are going to get to it tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Post in the comments where you're tuning in from this evening. I'm just getting my sources back over. We're talking all about the drought to start again, because we're going to hope to take just a little piece of it away with the help of some rainfall. Tomorrow, the drought monitor comes out, so we're going to be spending a great deal of time on the show tomorrow talking about how the drought has evolved. We can kind of get a gauge on that, though, with this. And this is something I show you a lot when we're in the dry season. The Keach Byram Drought Index, of course, that continues to go up. Brevard County today was added to the burn ban list in Central Florida that now contains Brevard, Polk, Sumter, Marion, and Flagler County. 500, again, is typically the threshold. Most of our counties are pulling the trigger early. You can thank the freeze for that. That has been the culprit to really make things dry. And again, where we would typically be dry but still have vegetation around, that vegetation is now dead and really dry, which makes it even drier. So that is why these numbers are really high, and that is why kind of the wildfire season has gotten off to a really fast start. Here are the showers I'm talking about. There's a weak cold front. It's not going to change our temperatures for the colder, but there's just a weak little boundary there. It's developing a couple of showers along it, mainly in South Georgia into the Florida Panhandle. So it's going to sink down from north to south and likely give us the opportunity anyway for just a few hit or miss downpours tomorrow. Most of us are going to be on the drier side. I think most of us will stay dry, but there will at least be that chance to have rain chances tomorrow in Central Florida at 30%. So we will take what we can get. This is definitely not going to eradicate the drought situation that we have gotten ourselves into. There's a bigger system, though, that I'm watching, and that is getting itself going out off the Carolina coastline. You can see the two swirls out here. This really cool shot. San Francisco right off the coast there. There's one little swirl, and then there's another swirl just to the southwest of that. The two are going to kind of dance with one another, and that is going to go into creating this much larger storm system that is going to skirt across the country and then arrive sometime on Sunday afternoon into the evening. I'm still working to pin down the timeline for my race fans out there for the Daytona 500. I think most of race weekend, the duels are looking great. Everything going on Saturday, the Cup race on Sunday, it's looking most of it's looking fantastic. It's just going to be, I think, at the very end, it's going to be a race against time if the rain beats the checkered flag. So that's what we are eyeing up. I think that is going to be a big, big question for at least the next 24-ish hours. The less cautions there are in the race, the better for getting this thing done on time. Here is the latest modeling, or for no delays, I should say. Extended clouds and rain forecast. There's 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. There is the system developing across the Gulf Coast, deep south, and then there it is working through. So really not much has changed here since we talked last night. The Euro locked in. I'm going to pull in the latest data. Do I have that in here already? Let me just double check. Yeah, it's all the afternoon stuff. So again, that's the key thing. That's 4 o'clock. There's some green over Daytona Beach. We're pumping in some of that moisture right up the Florida Peninsula out ahead of the storm. You see it right there. Yikes. And then there it is at 7 o'clock. So once it starts, it's unfortunately, I don't think, not going to stop until maybe very late or even Monday morning. So we're keeping our fingers crossed again for the end of the race. We need the rain desperately. We're going to talk about the potential for how much of that rain and a look at some of the temperature forecast stuff coming up when we talk again on the other side of this break in just about 3 minutes. Welcome back, guys. Hope everybody's doing well on a Wednesday night. Last night I thought it was Wednesday, and I keep on thinking it's Thursday. I guess I'm trying to get to the weekend after another busy week, but we're tracking this storm here that is coming Sunday night into Monday as it rolls across the North Gulf Coast. Now, a couple of things here that we're watching, that I'm watching closely, of course. First and foremost, for the Daytona 500. That could impact the race. The much more impactful side, though, across the state of Florida, that is just a race. We need to chill with the brush fires that keep on working their way across the state of Florida. And one way to do that is to get some moisture in here. Now, I do think we have a little bit coming in our direction. So this is Sunday afternoon into the evening. Sorry, I jumped the gun there. Let me go back and play that. I don't know why it just reversed. Hold on one second. Why did it just go back in time? Oh, because I selected January 16th. That'll do it. Okay, so let me take this forward in time. I don't think it's a ton of rain. There you go through 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, just a few hundredths of an inch possible. Again, most of us are going to be dry for the start of the weekend. And I mean, that's nice. Part of Central Florida getting up to a half inch of rain potentially. So that would be fantastic. If we can do that, that would certainly help the wildfire situation that we have going on across the state of Florida right now. The panhandle could pick up maybe a half inch to an inch. That's where the heaviest stuff, the heaviest rain is likely going to fall Sunday into Monday. To answer your question, Melissa, everything has been extinguished, or it's at least contained. It may still be burning, but it is contained. Everything in Volusia County is 100% contained. So we're doing okay on the brush fire part. It was a little breezy today, but certainly not as bad as it's been. So that's at least the positive side. Once we get to Sunday, though, it's with that front coming through. That is when I think we're really going to have to watch again, because that breeze is going to kick up. Like that's been the one issue that we've had lately. And I think we're going to see the wind start to really crank up again as that front comes through. Anything that gets ignited, even when we have rain coming in, the breeze is going to win out a lot of times. Hope your son is doing well. Thanks for still tuning in. I appreciate you. Good morning. Good evening, Jody. What's up, free thinker? Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. So there we go with that system again, and it's just cool to watch these pieces come together. This is part of that overall pattern change, and since it's Wednesday, I like to look at some of the stories, the weather systems making headlines across the country. Here's where we stand right now, and this is kind of the battle between the high pressure and low pressure. We're kind of zoomed out, taking a globe alien's eye view, I guess, if we're looking right down on the globe. That big trough in the west, this is our system, by the way. This is our system that I showed you on the water vapor imagery. It's getting together off the west coast of the United States, off the California coastline. This swirly thing down here, you see that counterclockwise, or the clockwise flow, I should say, those arrows, those white lines. That is high pressure, and that's kind of nudging to the north. And that's one of the reasons why we are warming up. The pattern is completely changing. Hey, Elizabeth, hope you're doing well tonight. And where it's orange, it's on the warmer side, okay? So that's something going forward. And then just watch what happens here. Let's take this further into the future. And this is the big change as we move into next week beyond Valentine's Day. Now the big dips in the jet stream are on the west coast. So for them, they are going to see cold and stormy weather. For us, post Valentine's Day, post storm system, post President's Day, we are really going to warm up. I was asked last week if I thought that there was 90-degree potential in the 10-day stretch, and I do think that there may be. Once we get into next week, like the end of next week, we could be flirting with 90 degrees. Because the pattern is going to be so amplified. This is the temperature outlook from February 17th through February 21st. And you see the beat red. The darker the red, the higher the confidence in above normal temperatures. But I mean, it looks to be really, really warm. You know, I like to show you this. I like to show you this on Monday, but I'm bringing it out here because this is part of the story. And the story is about the gigantic pattern change across the country. So that's through the 15th. They're going to see the southeast finally turn. Look how warm it is. I mean, relative to normal. There's the cold coming to the west. Let me take that out a little further. See if we'll go out. And then there comes the second surge towards the end of the month. Look at that, February 27th. That's crazy warm. So I think it's going to get warm again. Like, yeah, I like seeing, like, Florida on the white side on the temperature anomaly map, or maybe just some subtle yellow, because that's kind of the near perfect stuff that keeps us into the mid 70s, and that means the comfort level is very, very high. So we'll take that for sure. Alrighty, guys, I have to get my second break in. When we come back, I'll comb the chat to see if there are any questions out there. Thanks so much for being here on a Wednesday night, 9:48. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Alrighty, guys. Hope you're doing well on a Thursday. I'm trying to say Thursday on a Wednesday night. Temperature tomorrow in New Smyrna is in the mid 70s, so it should be a very nice afternoon. Although we are watching for a couple of stray sprinkles in the mix coming through. I think more clouds than sunshine. It's going to be very similar to what we saw this afternoon for sure across Central Florida with the extra clouds around. And a couple of sprinkles. I think we have a slightly better chance to see a little bit of rain tomorrow. I don't think it's anything too crazy, so don't get too excited about the rain coming through. We'll take what we can get. We need to be excited for sure, but I mean, it's not going to eradicate the drought. Some better opportunity for better opportunity for rain on Sunday into Monday. So we just got a question there about what I think the weather is going to be like Sunday and Monday. I think Sunday is very warm. I think it starts on the dry side, but then we're watching this guy here. So this is what I'm watching if you're asking for the Daytona 500 or if you're just asking if you have plans on Sunday. The weekend looks fantastic for the most part. Saturday looks good. Stray sprinkle in the mix. Mid day on Sunday, that's when we watch this thing roll through. So there's lunchtime. There's 4 o'clock. The Florida Panhandle getting rocked with some storms and some heavy rain. And then it's our turn to see some rain. There's the second half of Sunday. And the heavy stuff right on the doorstep of Daytona, if you're asking about that, just anywhere in the state of Florida, that's what it looks like. So certainly the Florida Panhandle, if you're watching there, that is going to be an opportunity anyway for the heavier rain to move in early in the day. South Florida, you're looking good other than a few stray sprinkles. I think it's possible to maybe hear some thunder. It's possible, but a lot of it depends on how this thing comes together. And I'm just not sure that it comes together to give like widespread thunderstorms. It's something we're going to be watching, though. We certainly tap into a lot of extra moisture and a lot of more humidity. So it's going to feel a little different on Sunday. It's going to feel more spring-like. If we do get thunderstorms, though, and this is something that we're going to look deeper in tomorrow when we're talking about the drought situation, then we add lightning into the mix. And that is what we want to avoid at all costs. Because lightning, as we all know, can spark fires. So let's hope we don't get the thunder with this one. We got to get some rain in here first to kind of calm things down a little bit, and then we can bring our thunderstorms back. So we're going to take a closer look at that getting into the day tomorrow when we break down the drought situation. Alrighty, guys, I have to run and get ready for the 10 o'clock news. Thanks so much for being here again. Tomorrow, the drought monitor is released. We all know it's bad out there. We need some rain, but we're going to see officially what the United States of Agriculture, Department of Agriculture, and NOAA does in terms of ranking us where the drought is from some of the soil samples and everything that they did. That includes the rain that we got last week, where last week we did not include Tuesday. So we'll see if that helped any. I doubt it. And we'll talk about the latest that and then look a little deeper at this system for sure coming in second half of the weekend into Monday. Thanks a ton for being here, guys, for breaking this storm down. Coming up on News 6 at 10 and then right back on News 6 at 11 on the TV side of things. I will catch you in a few minutes.